that people are looking for solutions instead of endlessly discussing problems. President Zelensky had excellent meetings with both political leadership and business leaders, and messages that we received from both wings are very encouraging. The most important thing is that you feel, you sense, and you hear the commitment to stand by Ukraine, to keep helping one way or another. And this is exactly the mood that we need, because basically our deal is very simple. Help us and we will do the job. Yeah. And that's and Davos, in that sense, in my view, actually, I can share with you my impression from Davos. I think Ukraine, AI, and elections in the US are three topics that really dominate discussions at the panels, off the panels, and at private dinners. And it's good, because Ukraine is at the center of Davos, and not surprisingly, not accidentally, because what happens in Ukraine matters for the whole world.
Mr. Blinken was here. He is trying to get support through Congress with his president as well for Ukraine. Did you get any form of reassurance from the senior US politicians here, and he wasn't the only one here, that actually there can be movement on the military funding package for Ukraine?
Well, I have no reasons to doubt the sincerity of the commitment of the Biden administration to continue helping Ukraine, nor do I have reasons to believe that the Republican Party as a whole does not realize how fundamental it is to defeat Russia in Ukraine and not to allow Russia to continue destroying the world order built by America. I mean, let's be honest, the world we live in was built under American leadership. The United States of America invested hundreds of billions of money, enormous volume of other types of resources in building the world that we live in. And now Putin attacked that world and wants to destroy it. So whatever the price of supporting Ukraine is, the price of fixing the world, if Putin wins, for the people of America will be much, much higher.
So, and again, just to push the point, you didn't get any impression that there is a change in tone from the American administration in how they want Ukraine to approach the war and diplomacy?
No, definitely not. We have a very trustful relationship at different level. President Zelensky and President Biden, they have very close contact. Me and Secretary Blinken, Andriy Yermak, whom you mentioned, and Jake Sullivan, Secretary Austin and Minister Umerov. This is just to name a few of the lines of communication. And when we compare notes, we don't hear that, we don't sense that. In fact, I think that there is an important change in the tone of the discussion in Congress that occurred somewhere in the end of November, early December, when the issue of Ukraine was fixed and put aside, together with the issue of Israel and the issue of Taiwan. And the whole discussion was concentrated on border. So everything we've been hearing ever since from Congress and from the Biden administration is that there are no discussions neither about whether Ukraine deserves to be helped, nor about the sum of that support. And that's reassuring. But of course, in the end, it's the decision of the Congress. In the end, it's the domestic issue that rules the game, and we have to wait.
You mentioned of the three topics, Ukraine is certainly one of the key topics here in Davos. One of the other ones you mentioned is the US election. Mr. Putin will be very aware of the different tone coming from Donald Trump as well. Do you fear, actually, rather than actually wanting to come to the table with anything new, actually Mr. Putin is waiting for Donald Trump and hopefully a change of support for Ukraine?
Well, although I don't look old enough, but I do remember the times when President Putin was very much looking forward to the presidency of Donald Trump, hoping that he would strike a big deal with him. I'm sure you remember the big deal narrative, that Ukraine will be betrayed and will go off the drain because for bigger interests of Russia and the United States in the world. And the big deal didn't really work out. Trump went after the most important Russian infrastructure project, Nord Stream 2, that would allow transportation of gas from Russia to Germany. Trump was the first one to sell lethal weapons to Ukraine, the famous American javelins. So, do I believe that there is a potential for Putin and Trump to agree on something behind Ukraine's back if President Trump becomes president? I don't.
No.
It's not just me thinking out loud. It's the reality that dictates the understanding of the dynamics.
Right, so